Right. Making one of these videos because it's come to my attention just how brain rotted TikTok and YouTube and Twitch are. Because ever since I've now just like started getting kind of I don't want to say famous because that's cringe. I want to say like well known, and I guess like people and I'm gonna get loads of comments saying like who even are you, bro, low. But like as I'm starting to get decent traction as the top 500 Moon Knight player or like the Celestial Free Moon Knight player, and yes, it's happening, alright? You can copium all you want, it is happening. I am starting to realize there's a lot of like weird misconception about this game being spread by a lot of Overwatch pros and like NA players and like EU players, and just there's a lot of misinformation being spread, and it's making it very obvious where the problem stems from. Because I'm getting these videos on my TikTok, I'm having to block and like fucking ban a bunch of accounts because it's just like I don't consume that type of media. But it's becoming rampant, and like when someone hears one thing, it's very sheepy, like very sheep mentality. So I thought I'd give my 2 cents on this because I get a lot of like questions asking me about it and my take on it. Because for some reason, people give a shit what I think when I'm just a Moon Knight main playing in Celestial and getting fucking target banned every 5 seconds. So, we're going to talk about a plague upon the content creation community. And yes, I am part of the problem. That's absolutely fine. I don't care. But at least I recognize it and don't hide behind the fact that I'm a high rank in a video game that has Spider-Man in it, to basically act like I'm the gospel of church. I don't hide behind that fact. I just know professional gaming. I just know high elo gaming, and it's just like I don't like this misinformation spread. Mostly because people come into my chat and tell me I'm wrong, and it's just like I'm not wrong. I just don't follow the sheep mentality that everyone else does. So I'm gonna quickly just like list off a few reasons and a few things that I'm gonna talk about in this video, and I will probably rant and rave, and I'll probably delete the video if I don't know. Thank you for watching. If you disagree with any of my points, or if you have any counter-arguments, please leave them in the comments. I don't mind being told I'm wrong. Just don't be a cunt about it. Don't be a dick. Don't be like, well, you're boosted. Rah, rah, rah. Just know I'm a solo queue player, and I only really play Moon Knight 90% of the time, unless he's target banned because people know me, or if I have to flex. I play most of the characters. I have a decent chunk of time. It's just Moon Knight's my main because he is rarely countered. There you go. Not boosted. I don't play in a 6-stack. I don't play with high communications. Nothing like that. I am just a solo queue gamer. So, a lot of issues and a lot of bad habits Marvel Rival players have. Now, this is the focus of the video, bad habit videos and just bad habits in general, is the fact that, and this is the main bad habit that a lot of Marvel Rival players have, is they listen to bad habit videos, right? So, I get this a lot, and it really annoys me, because it's just, like, a lot of these tips and tricks are common sense. It's like back in the day when you would Google how to get more FPS out of a game, and then they would just tell you to turn down the settings. It's just like, well, no fucking shit. That doesn't apply to just one specific PC. It applies to every PC. It's the same with this. So, there's a lot of content creators, and I'm not singling anyone out. I'm not being a dick. It's come to my attention because people bring it up in my Twitch chat and my TikTok chat a lot. So I'm not singling anyone out. If there's someone watching, or if you know someone who's made this type of video, I'm not trying to give you shit. Please don't think I hate you. It's just I don't like the content you provide, and that is something you need to get used to as a streamer and a content creator. If someone doesn't like your video, they will talk about it, okay? It's nothing against you. It's just against the kind of content. So, I see a lot of these videos like, oh, every bad habit of a bronze player, of a silver player, of a gold player. If you fix these bad habits, you'll be GM in no time. Don't listen to these videos, because they are very case-by-case subjective. They rely on a lot of things, such as, for example, 90% of the people that make these videos get paid to play this game. A lot of content creators who make these videos are single streamers who have a decent following. Me, while I have a decent following, I am nowhere near at the level where I get money for this game, so I can make these videos and actually give you constructive, unbiased opinion. Yes, if I played this game for 12 hours straight and got paid to do it and made money, then some of these tips would actually be pretty applicable. 9 times out of 10, though, the average player and the average solo queue player and the average high elo player don't have that kind of like luxury. Stop listening to the bad habit videos. For example, I hear people say like, oh, if you're bronze, work on your aim. That's a given. But you should also be working on the entire concept of the game. You should be learning as many characters as you can. You should be learning as many playstyles as you can, because then you will understand the counters to it. For example, people don't understand that flank is very easily countered by Namor, because people just either, when they get to Diamond, target ban Spider-Man and Black Panther and all that, or they just refuse to learn, get dove on repeat, and then complain and cry. For example, I had someone who was telling me he was hard stuck Diamond because he was a Moon Knight one trick, and every time he played against Dive, he would insta-lose. Yeah, because Moon Knight's countered by Dive. So that's why I play Namor. There you go, simple as. But no one knows this. The best tip when you're brand new to the game is to learn the game. A lot of people want to skip learning the game and just immediately be good. That really does not happen. You cannot just go onto like a baseball pitch, pick up a bat, hit a home run. You really can't. You have to learn, you have to apply yourself, and you have to gain the skills to play the game. It's the same with, I know I just compared sports to gaming, but it is the same concept. At the end of the day, you need to learn how this game works. This isn't a tactical shooter where you can rely heavily on your aiming mechanics and only slightly on your gameplay mechanics. This is a hero shooter. It has counters, it has metas, it has compositions, it has team-ups, it has a lot of shit that you need to be aware of. So, stop listening to the bad habit videos who tell you how to play the game at a certain elo. Because as you get to certain elos, you'll realize, wait a minute, people don't play like how Mr. Fortnite Gamer said this is how they played. This is because the game is made up of many regions. For example, EU players will play completely differently to NA players. For example, and I saw an NA guy basically talk about learning how to communicate with your team. Sometimes you just can't do that. If you play on EU servers like I do, there is no English server. It is Warsaw and Frankfurt. Not an issue, by the way. Just saying. So a lot of the time, I rarely run into people who speak English, and I cannot expect people who can't speak English to communicate with me because I don't speak their language, they don't speak with my language. Sometimes you just have to know how to play the game and rely on your own senses. Simple as, alright? Pretend you're Daredevil, okay? So there you go. Just stop listening to these bad habit video guys. They really don't help you, and if anything, they instill bad habits. Because, like, I saw one where it was like, if you're bronze, you should play easy characters so you can learn the fundamentals of the game rather than learn a character and the fundamentals and overwhelm yourself. While that is actually an alright point, you're forgetting the fact that if you learn Scarlet Witch, right, and only play Scarlet Witch, by the time you're gold, you'll start getting countered very easily, and then you'll have to learn a brand new character, which then shapes up your entire gameplay style. Easy characters have a completely different time playing the game because they have a different play style to the harder characters because they need to rely on fundamentals but better. For example, Scarlet Witch, you'll lose every fight against a Punisher who can aim. So, even in low elo, you will probably most likely adopt a much more different approach to the game that you'll then have to force yourself to get out of and unlearn when you, say, start playing your characters that you actually wanted to play that are your favorite characters from the Marvel series. So, my tip for you would be stop listening to these bad habit videos and just learn the game and enjoy the game. If you want to play Magic but someone told you not to in low elo, play Magic. If you want to just play Groot because he's silly tree man, do it. My only tip would be learn every single character to some degree. I can flex pick and pick any role, any support. Any support, any DPS, well, apart from the melee DPSs, and any tank. Now, you're probably going to call me a hypocrite because I'm like, oh, you can't play melee characters. They just genuinely don't fit my playstyle. I can play everyone else but that. Thankfully, there are ranged flank options and there are ranged divers, for example, Psylocke. I can play ranged characters because I can aim. I just can't deal with melee range because of just, I don't know, I just really struggle to deal with it. It's just not my playstyle, and that's absolutely fine. Sometimes you just have to realize if it's not your playstyle, you don't have to do it. This is a hero shooter. There is a broad range of characters that you can learn from. That's my main tip for the whole bad habit videos. Just stop listening to them, guys. Trust me. It's also very sheepy. Like, you'll learn something from a TikTok, and then you'll tell every TikToker ever this fun fact about how to win. For example, I literally had someone join my stream and complain about a bad habit from bronze that I was doing. And I was like, yeah, I'm Celestial. I can get away with these kind of plays sometimes because when you're at a higher elo, people don't expect dumb shit to, happen. It's the same with Valorant. When someone makes a wide peek when they should only do a short peek, your aim is thrown off. That's the whole point of gaming, is to anticipate your opponent. If your opponent anticipates you anticipating them, then it's fucked, right? You see what I mean? This is why you can't just give clear-cut info. Loads of people ask me, like, oh, I'm GM, how do you get out of Celestial? Just play the game and learn. That's literally it. Just play the game, adopt your own playstyle, you will win eventually. Right, next. Another bad habit people get into, and this one annoys me really heavily, is the crosshair debate. As you can see, I use a circle crosshair. Now, this may not be the most optimal crosshair for Moon Knight, right? Wrong. It is the most optimal crosshair for Moon Knight. Do you know why? Because it's my crosshair and I like it. Crosshair is all about your own personal preference. For example, before I got this circle one, I used to play Valorant. So I have a Valorant crosshair. This is literally my Valorant crosshair in Marvel Rivals. I have this crosshair, or at least I had this crosshair, because I was actively playing Valorant alongside this game. Also, this kind of crosshair style is very prominent in a lot of games. I think this is even my Black Ops 6 crosshair. So I didn't have to adjust to a new crosshair every different game I was playing. I didn't have to focus my eyes differently or change the way I look at my screen. I just had a general sort of consistent crosshair across all video games. It worked for me. Crosshairs do not give you aimbot. I had a guy who only plays Jeff the Landshark join my stream the other day and said you would be high elo if you had a different crosshair. I would be high elo. The top 500. I would be a higher elo than top 500 if I had a better crosshair, says the Jeff the Landshark main, who probably peaked gold. Yeah, people are very silly, because the issue is TikTokers and like YouTubers will use clickbaity like, this crosshair gives you aimbot. So then people believe it. Yes, I have seen those crosshairs where, like, it's built for Namor. So, like, with Namor's crosshair, if you're a certain range, then you use the bottom or the top of the crosshair, and you'll hit headshots every single time. The issue with that is, and my problem with it as well, is you're relying on tools in-game to help, like, patchwork your mechanical knowledge. I can play any crosshair and use any crosshair because I know how the character works, not because I had a lineup ruler guide on my screen at all times that I relied on. If it works for you, it's absolutely fine to have a different crosshair for every player, for every character. I fully understand that it can improve, but these crosshair videos are only applicable in a really dumb sense, right? Like, it's literally like, oh, this crosshair will give you aimbot and no more, but if you're not the exact measurement of distance away, it will whiff 90% of the time. Then how does that give me aimbot? Just learn your crosshair and learn your gameplay style and your aiming style, right? I literally use a circle for Moon Knight, for melee characters, for Spider-Man, because it's just my crosshair. I know how to use this crosshair, and it's the most visible on my screen. For example, I had someone join and say I should change my HUD colors as well as my crosshair color to the color blue, because it's easier to see on most maps, blah, 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 blah. Some TikToker told him to. For those who don't know, I'm blue deficient. Blue is kind of like a washed out gray to me. So, they wanted me to effectively play with a gray crosshair, right? No. It is a case-by-case, subjective sort of, like, you should make your own crosshair that you can see. There are people in top 500 who use the default crosshair. There are pro players who use the default crosshair. There are people who play Spider-Man with a little rose, a little heart crosshair. Use whatever is your, like, comfortable for you, right? It's the same with, Now I'm gonna gloss over these two really quickly as well. It's the same with peripherals and sensitivity. A lot of people ask me what my sensitivity is and what keyboard and mouse I use. Stop copying better players' setup. It does not give you the ability to play better. There are people out there who are playing at 0.1 sensitivity, 9 million DPI, and outperforming you who copy Tfue setup from Fortnite. It's all about your own comfortable sort of muscle memory. My DPI is 3200. I play on a really high DPI. This is a bad idea for like consistent flick characters and shit. However, I play MOBAs. I play World of Warcraft. I don't want to have to learn a brand new DPI setting and have to move my arm across my entire desk to get a flick off. I play Moon Knight. I don't need to rely on super precise aiming. And as you can see, I'm doing absolutely okay moving my crosshair to where I need to aim. See? I play on 32 DPI, 0.32 in-game. I am doing completely fine. At the end of the day, it's all about your comfort. It's the same with the peripherals. I don't play on a gaming keyboard. I play on an Acco custom anime designer keyboard. I got accused of wooting because I can do this. Right? As you can see, I like instantly stop dead when I try and strafe. Nope. This keyboard just has SOC descrubbing to like avoid accidental key presses when you're typing. Right? I have thunky keys, and I use a Logitech G Pro, and I've used the G Pro for many, many years. I don't change my mouse. When this one breaks, I will just order the exact make and model again. I don't buy this new, like, oh, mouse skates, glass skates, blah, blah, blah. Hell, one of my mouse skates ripped off 6 years ago, and I'm still using the mouse completely fine. It's all about your own comfort and your setup. For example, I aim with my entire arm. Some people only aim with their wrist. Like, this is wrist movement right here. I used to be a wrist player many years ago, so I can always change up my grip and aim with my wrist. However, I use my arm now, so I can actually have way more control and play on a much higher DPI and sensitivity. You, on the other hand, might not. Your desk might be cluttered. You might be playing in a dorm. You might be playing in a very small room. I have a massive room. My bedroom used to be a front room, alright? No one's situation is the same. Don't copy the way people play. That's another thing. People copy, like, grip, for example. I play with a claw grip, so my fingers are, like, tilted. My fingers are like a claw, right? That's just simply because of how comfortable it is for me. You might have joint issues, you might have smaller hands, bigger hands, so you might have to play flat. That's absolutely fine. When you are good at using what you are used to, you will improve. Stop changing crosshairs, stop changing sensitivities, stop copying other people, and get good at your own stuff. There are people out there who are probably a higher rank than you, and they play with their feet because they have no hands. There are people out there who play with a tube in their mouth and have to use voice commands because they have no fingers. There are people out there who have a lot more, like, struggles than you, and they're probably double your rank. Are you gonna go play voice command only? No. It's the same like Pandemic. Like, my nephew does this because Tfue does it. My nephew will play with his keyboard, and yes, I'm sorry if you're watching this, mate, I am calling you out. He'll play with his keyboard tilted 90 degrees because Tfue does it. Do you know why Tfue does it? Probably because he had a small desk when he was a child, and he got comfortable having a smaller desk. It's the same with me. I play with a 90 degrees keyboard because back in the day when I was a child, I either had to use the arrow keys to aim because I couldn't have the desk space for a mouse. I couldn't move it. Or I'd have to tilt my keyboard 90 degrees, which I did, and then I had a mouse. Originally, I used to be a PC gamer, I know this is terrible, who would use the mouse, the arrow keys on my keyboard as a mouse because I did not have the space. Now that I'm older, and, you know, housing situations change, I can now actually play with a keyboard and mouse properly and use my entire arm to aim. So, are you going to copy me? Are you going to use the arrow keys to aim? No, exactly. Everyone has their own different choices. There are some people in top 500, by the way, who play on controller with no aim assist on PC against other PC players and outperforms. It's all about what you're comfortable with. It's the same thing back when I used to be in the fighting game community. People would ask me about my hitbox. And like, oh, did you see an improvement when you got a hitbox? No, I was dog shit with a hitbox. But then, as I got more comfortable with it, I realized it was my more preferred way to play because I felt more accurate with the certain types of buttons. However, I used to be a tournament player on a controller. It's all about what you, as in you, the player, enjoy. And that's just it. You just have to realize that it's all about, I've just repeated myself like 60 times, I'm sorry. But it is just genuinely what you're comfortable with. So stop copying sensitivity and peripherals just because you, like, buy the exact same making keyboard of your favorite Marvel Rivals streamer, Necro Spider-Man gamer, and, like, inhale the Cheeto dust from his keyboard does not mean you'll just absorb his powers. This isn't like Dragonborn, fucking Skyrim. You're killing a fucking dragon soul and getting its power. That's not how it works, guys. So yeah, that's another thing. Just start avoiding those videos. If someone makes a video about this on TikTok, just fucking avoid the creator because he's not going to give you any good, helpful info. The next one is tips for this rank. Now, this is a quick one, by the way. Sorry, I'm taking off my hoodie. It's getting hot in my room. This is one which is not that deep because I covered it earlier in the video. If someone tells you the best tip for a certain rank, just don't listen. Because like I said, it's case by case, people by people, just ignore it. So, next is the tech videos that I see a lot, right? Like this cool, epic, hidden tech. Sometimes this is really good, right? I actually forgot to cover this, but like, character-specific tips are good, by the way. It's just when I was talking about the ranks, I mean tips for like certain ranked players. Everyone's different, bro. Every human is different. Whereas with characters, it's a lot different. There are some tech that people just like claim is gospel when it's just like it's obvious how it works. For example, a lot of people like to come into my TikTok stream and complain when I use the grapple like this to move. Because they're like, did you know this cool super hidden Easter egg where if you look down, you'll go straight up? Yeah, what need do I have for this when I'm trying to get to a point quicker? Right? It's a case by case. A lot of these tips and tricks for certain characters or techs aren't techs, it's just how the character works. Like, anyone who's put any time into Moon Knight knows how his grapple works. It's not a tech. Like, another thing people have is they call everything a tech, right? They're like, did you know about the glide tech, where if you glide, you glide? It's like, that's just how the character fucking works, right? It's like, I'm trying to think of a genuine, like, I heard it before, and I was just like, no, that's just how the character works, you Nimrod, and it really pissed me off. I don't remember which character it was, but it was like, did you know about this cool tech? And I'm like, if you just read the character description, it tells you. But then it just shows, like, no one understands and no one, like, learns and reads. But yeah, character-specific tips, sure. But please, if you see a cool tech video on TikTok, keep it to yourself. Because 9 times out of 10 people have seen it. Or if people maining a character and they know about it. I literally had someone join and basically list off every single piece of tech that Moon Knight has, and I'm like, yep, I know that because it's in his kit. It says in his kit. Oh, actually, yeah, it was Moon Knight. So, the tech is the Ankh, right? Like how, I'll show you guys quickly here. So, if I just put this down here and let me just kill Spidey here. So, most Moon Knight mains will throw the Ankh down and then throw glaives at it, right? His left click. So, this is a full health Spider-Man. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Right. Yep. Took 3 left clicks to kill. However, if I hit Spider-Man directly, it takes 1. If that. Right. This is tech, apparently. Nope. It's basic common sense and his game design. So, because it is aimbot, technically, because it auto-aims, it does less damage when you start with the Ankh. However, you're rewarded for hitting the person that can move with more damage. That's just basic game design. It is just like Star-Lord. So, I'll show you here. So, let me go over to Groot here. Let me change Spidey to Groot quickly. I'll show you. It's like Star-Lord, for example. It's just common sense in gaming. If I hold down left click and shoot him in the face, 40 bullets, 50 bullets. Right, it took 50 bullets to kill Groot. Or 2 mags, right? However, if I ult here, 1 mag, 2 mag, 3 mag, almost 4 mags, right? Why did it deal less damage? Because I was hitting him in the head. I was being rewarded for my accuracy. It is why Star-Lord cannot headshot in his ult. It is because you have aimbot, so you're penalized because you have a really good benefit. It's the same with Moon Knight. This is just basic common gaming sense. It is how it worked. It's not a tech. It's not a secret thing. However, people give me shit because I sometimes rely on only hitting the Ankh. And this is what I need to explain. Sometimes tech is really useless in certain situations. For example, Cloak and Dagger jump around, right? These guys jump, right? So, like, say they're strafing me. I'm, trying to hit them and I can't hit them because I'm a projectile-based character, right? Moon Knight's projectiles. As you can see when I do this, you can see the individual projectiles and they travel. So people can dodge them very easily on reaction. Do you know what doesn't move? The Ankh. I have a way better time of doing this and insta-killing a dagger before she has a chance to switch the cloak than I do, you know, hitting her in the head several times. It's all about realizing when and where to use it. That's a genuinely good tip I can give you for tech, is stop relying just immediately on tech. For example, there's an insta-kill combo, right, with Moon Knight. Like that, right? Ignore the first kill, the second kill, because the first guy didn't have full HP, but this guy did. There's an insta-kill combo. However, if there's multiple people in the Ankh radius, here, if I just quickly do this, the insta-kill combo doesn't work because there are multiple people in the Ankh range, so it spreads the damage out. So if I rely on the Ankh tech, I've just wasted an Ankh when I could have instead tried to use the Ankh to isolate someone on their own and get a kill. It's all about making the micro decisions. However, people will see me doing this and they'll give me shit for it because their famous TikToker told them about the secret tech to Moon Knight. Just stop listening to tech videos because then you sheep like to just tell everyone about it. Trust me, if someone played the character, they know. Right? If they actually care about the game and not just playing a character because he's busted, they would know. Okay? Another tip and trick video or like bad habit video stigma, or not stigma, stereotype, is the target banning. This pisses me off on an emotional level just because I'm a streamer, so people watch me and people know me, right? I average a decent amount of viewers and most of the time they are people in my rank. Because, you know, people go on TikTok and they scroll while they're waiting for a queue, so they'll see me and they'll see my name. So stop relying on target banning rather than learning how to deal with people, guys. For example, a big issue right now is people are banning Cloak and Dagger because Cloak and Dagger is annoying. Do you know why people are banning Cloak and Dagger? Because a Punisher main told everyone to. I don't remember the guy's name. I'm not going to call him out. I'm not going to give him shit because at the end of the day, this is no hate, like I said earlier in the video. Just because I don't like your content doesn't mean I don't like you. It's just I don't like your content. When you're uploading to a public platform, expect some people to disagree and dislike you. That's just how it is. People hate on me all the time. I don't let it affect me. I don't want drama. I'm just saying. But he's a Punisher main, and he said, ever since I started banning Lunar Snow and Cloak and Dagger, I've been having way more fun. Yeah, because you main a character who relies on consistent damage, and you've banned the two best burst healing characters. If you rely on this kind of technique, first things first, your team won't have burst healing, so if you don't play characters that output consistent damage, you will fail because the enemy team will just abuse that. Second of all, you're really hindering yourself. Cloak and Dagger is really easily counterable by multiple ults in the game. For example, if you have a Mantis, Punisher can kill Cloak while she's charging up. Magneto can just directly smack her in the mouth. Moon Knight can predict where she's going, put down the Fist of Khonshu. She dies immediately, although Moon Knight is bugged right now, but I think even after the bug fix, it will happen. Hawkeye can one-shot her through her ult while she's charging up. Hela can probably deal enough damage burst. If she had a damage boost, maybe, not too sure. If I'm not mistaken, Strange can just one-tap her with 100% if he gets a headshot off first. There's loads of ways to counter Cloak and Dagger in her ult. Also, if you play Bucky, you can pull her out of her healing goo, kill her, then her ult disappears. It's the same with Sue, by the way, and it's the same with Luna, except the issue is Luna is CC immune, so you kind of have to play around that. But once again, if you can hit a headshot off of on her, she dies. Magneto ult kills her immediately. She dies. So you need to learn how to counter. My Moon Knight gets target banned all the time. 9 times out of 10, they lose the game anyways because I am not a one-trick. I actually know how to play other characters. If you waste a ban target banning, then you're wasting a ban and allowing Storm, Bucky, Psylocke, Star-Lord, Strange, Magneto all get through and then cause issues for the rest of your team. Even Wolverine, you let get through by wasting a ban. It's the same with Spider-Man haters. People ban Spider-Man. Fun fact, Namor, really easy counter. And you can kind of tell, based on who people are banning, if they're a Spider-Man main. Right? If Namor and Bucky are suddenly banned, it sets off alarm bells in your head. and be like, well, they're going to pick Black Panther or Spidey, right? Characters are super easy. People would just rather target ban than learn how to play. For example, I genuinely think Storm is really oppressive right now, simply because she was never played in Season 0. And she's really oppressive in lower ranks. I've played with a lot of Lord Storms who get no value, because at higher elo, we don't give a shit about her. When she gets through, we just pick Punisher and beam her down, or we pick Psylocke and just beam her down. Just apply knowledge to the game. There are some characters, like, I'm going to use Season 0, because I think this season is actually quite semi-balanced. I know that's going to get me hatred. It's fine. There are some busted characters. Like, don't get me wrong, I know Wolverine is really annoying, but once again, he is target banned rather than played against. He is really easy to counter. Magneto and positioning counters him. But I just think, like, I'm using Season 0 here. Hela and Hawkeye were extremely disgusting because they could just one-tap you by accident. So there was no counterplay to it. Whereas a lot of the characters that are being banned right now, apart from Hulk, Hulk is quite annoying with the Iron Man team-up because no character does 220 DPS. Most characters that are banned now are just because you don't know how to play against them. So, I don't know. I just think people need to learn how to, like, actually deal with characters rather than target ban them. Plus, you'll enjoy the game so much more because you'll enjoy a variety of playstyle and you'll enjoy a variety of characters. So, yeah. Another bad habit thing that Marvel Rival players like to do is they like to apply high elo meta to low elo. This is a big thing. They also do it with professional gaming, and we'll get into this. I personally believe Hulk is really not that strong apart from the team-up. I voiced this, right? I think Hulk is a really mid character. Well, not mid. He's strong, but he's not overpowered like people claim he is. And every single time I bring this up on TikTok, people like to argue with me, say like, oh, well, he's played in pro play, he's played here, he's played in that. First things first, let's just get that out the way. Pro play is a whole different kettle of fish compared to solo queue. Take a look at a lot of the pro players who play this game. They're not the top rank because the professional environment is a lot different to the solo queue experience. As a professional gamer, I have played in professional teams. Well, not professional, semi-professional teams. When you are in a professional gaming thing, you firstly rely on communication. Everyone in your team either speaks the same language or knows each other and has a basic grasp of the English language or whatever language is the predominant language spoke in that team. Solo queue, I have had people who are English, Arabic, Russian, Swedish, like I've had all sorts of languages and no one speaks English. How can I rely on communication? I can't, so I have to learn and play around my team by just the few little snippets of information I have, right? So, that's the pro elo. High elo meta, for example, people go like Iron Man Hulk, right? Yeah, high elo meta is really good. However, in low elo, where people can't track or aim, Hulk Iron Man may not work as good. People need to stop looking at celestial gameplay and then applying it. For example, free healer meta is very, very strong in high elo because healers know how to heal, and most of the time the third healer is a DPS. However, and by the way, this is due to Rocket being really high win rate in high elo. So low elo people will pick Rocket and not know how to deal with him, or not know how to play with him. Excuse me. They'll pick Rocket Mantis, for example, because Rocket and Mantis are really high win rate in high elo. Excuse me, that's so weird. I had something caught in my throat there as I was talking, and I'm not going to edit this out because I cannot be fucked. Do you know why Rocket and Mantis are really powerful in high elo? 1, because of triple healer meta. 2 burst healers followed by a third healer is really good. Not because of the healing output, because of the burst damage. Look how quickly Rocket will kill this Galactobot, by the way. You see how quick that was? Just for reference, let me change this to Groot, right? Groot has some of the highest HP ever, right? That wasn't even all headshots, by the way. Let me just change to no ability cooldown here. If you know how to aim, I have 18 bullets left, so not even a full mag. And I absolutely eviscerated this Groot. Right? It's even worse when I have this. Right? You see how quickly I absolutely annihilate him? It's the same with Mantis, right? Obviously, Mantis is not the best at, like... But, like, you see how quickly Mantis chunks people when she hits them? Right? This is how people play when they are playing triple healer. They play the third healer as kind of a DPS almost, just to sort of pad the healing stats. Low elo don't know that. They'll play Rocket and do this.
We guard the galaxy, sure, but sometimes we take stuff other people are guarding.
And then your team dies because of lack of heals because you chose Mantis Rocket, which are really bad healers, like burst healing. Mantis is really good, but, like, you know what I mean. So because of this, Rocket has a really high win rate, but he has a lot of haters because people don't understand when he is the best to be played. There are people who play Rocket in GM around the team up and also, like I said, the free healer meta. For example, when you're in high elo and you can actually, you know, track and do really good with aiming, the team up is fucking amazing. Like, a good Punisher can absolutely annihilate people. Right. It's the same with Bucky. Alright, put it down. Rocket, come on. It's the same with Bucky. When you can hit a lot of your shots, having infinite ammo, you do just sort of melt tanks as well. Like, obviously, I'm really far away and I'm Bucky, but, like, you see how quickly I'm just annihilating the tank there? It's the same with Punisher. Right? You just sort of absolutely demolish people with the team up. And imagine if I had the fucking amplifier. This would be even crazier. That's why Rocket is extremely potent. However, people don't know that. They just see the win rate and they see the TikTok people complaining about how annoying Rocket is, and then they apply their high elo meta to their low elo. So there you go. That's another bad habit you Marvel Rival players do, and I think you should just stop. Just stop applying high elo meta. Just focus around your gameplay and what works for you and what works for your team composition. Trust me, it'll be a lot better. People play different in all elos. So yeah. Another really bad habit, that's a genuine bad habit, is people downplay their characters a lot. It's the same with Moon Knight mains, it's the same with Spider-Man mains, it's the same with Black Panther mains. It's the same with every single main in existence. Okay? The biggest issue is with Black Panther. He's known as the tickle monster. He is known as, like, a character that's very useless. And all over TikTok, people will post these really high sensitivity clips, right? Of him doing, like, this shit, right? And then doing absolutely no damage. The healers are, like, you know, doing their jobs and healing everyone. And then people call him, jokingly, the tickle monster. But people fail to realize in a lot of these clips, this guy's here. And he does this. And then Black Panther mains will, you know, 1v9, do all this shit, right? And then bow before blast, and then you'll just see the Loki do this. And then no one dies. Right? The issue is here, guys, when you farm dashes on Black Panther, of course you're going to do no damage because you're just being out-healed. No character in the game can 1v9 a character and insta-kill them. None. No one. Not even the meta tiers can do that. Hela can't do that. Psylocke can't do that. No one can. But the issue is, obviously, people just see the TikTok and they see the lack of damage, and because they're either low elo or they're just not experienced in the game, they think Black Panther is genuinely not a menace. I've got many clips where I'm out of position, and I get absolutely eviscerated by a Black Panther without even realizing what the fuck just happened. It's the same with Magic players, and it's the same with Spider-Man players. Like, you'll see all these really, like, I don't want to say low elo, because I do think some high elo players also do this kind of dumb shit, and it's really annoying, because it just gives the wrong impression. But you'll see, like, you know, a Magic really know what they're doing, and they'll do, like, this. Oh, well, that guy was already low. Let me just... I don't play Magic, by the way, but you'll see people do, like, this shit, right? Against a healer who is literally being pocketed, and they'll complain that their character does no damage, forgetting the fact that I have currently 400 HP as a fucking melee character who is constantly dealing damage, and has animation cancels, and has a dash, and has another dash, and has an annoying little demon that does a bunch of damage that can't be killed. With an insane range, by the way. So, by the way, Magic, second highest win rate across all ranks. Do you know who has the highest? Storm, and she's currently, according to High Elo, busted. So, yeah, people downplay their characters a lot, and I don't know why. It breeds this sort of really toxic, unhealthy image with your game. It's the same with Moon Knight mains. A lot of Moon Knight mains will be like, no, he takes skill. You can play him skillfully. For examples, you know, like me, I don't rely on the Ankh all the time. However, Moon Knight's kit is very simple. It's very super simple. A lot of people join my stream and be like, oh, bro, do you have any tips for Moon Knight's kit? No, he's a simple character. He has no animation cancels apart from the Ankh animation cancel, where you cancel your left click with your Ankh. So, like, you attack much faster. But other than that, he has absolutely nothing. He's a simple character, and that's fine. I don't downplay my character. I think he is easily one of the better A-tier characters in the game. He's currently got a bugged ult that does double damage. However, it doesn't matter. Even with that, I think he's an A-tier character. Black Panthers, Magic, Spider-Man, all the characters that have the ability to one-shot really downplay the characters. Like, they think they're assassins. Like, they're supposed to just one-shot through healing like it's League of Legends. That's not how it works. You're supposed to flank, cause issues, and be annoying, and make the healers tilt while picking up a kill here and there. That's just it. Spider-Man literally has a one-shot combo, and people say he needs buffs. I'm not saying he's disgusting, by the way. I think Spider-Man's B-tier at best. However, he is designed for a certain situation, and that's okay. Same with Black Panther. If you 1v12 and throw your spears at a Loki who has his fucking Infinity Stones up, then no shit you're not going to do any damage. If you start actually realizing your place in the meta, and you start realizing your playstyle and stop downplaying your characters, you'll have a much healthier, like, sort of outlook on the game, and you'll have a much healthier relationship with the game. Trust me. I promise you. But that's not really a bad habit, that's just a bad mentality. You think you're the main character, and that's absolutely fine, but sometimes you're just not the main character. Like, you know, like me, I want to be the DPS main who carries my team every game. Sometimes I'm the support main who does fuck all, because I'm not the main character. Some people are better. That's just it. That's just it. And once you have that mindset, you'll just be much better at gaming. Trust me, I promise you. So yeah, there's that. Now this is the final copium. The final copium? This is the final bad habit. Sorry, spoiler alert. This is the final bad habit, and it's copium. And this is not going to make a lot of sense, but just bear with me, okay? So, what I mean by copium is a lot of people join my stream and say, how have you managed to solo queue out of Celestial? I'm currently in Plat, and everyone's dog shit. I'm always getting 40k damage as fucking Penny, and no one seems to kill anything. What am I doing wrong? I think it's just because I'm in Elo hell. First things first, my mentality for that is, you are in that rank for a reason. I have solo queued, specifically solo queued this game. I have had some rough teammates where I've won the game. I've had some rough teammates where I've lost the game. I have had some amazing teammates, and I've still lost the game because I wasn't pulling my weight. You need to understand that when every word you say, right? Like, oh, my teammates have no farms, no one knows how to heal. Someone said that about you. Someone has said that about you, because for some reason, in team-based games, everyone has this ego that they are the main character. Sometimes I fully get it. Yeah, sometimes you just have really bad teammates. It is just part of online gaming. However, I refuse to believe you were on a 10-loss streak because people were bad. I refuse to believe it. I had a guy the other day tell me that he's a Spider-Man 1 trick, and for some reason he was losing a lot of games because of his team. And I said, what were you doing wrong? And he was like, well, I was SVP. And I was like, yeah, that's based off stats, you know? I can get SVP by mag dumping into their Magneto all game as Punisher, and once in a while killing the other DPS who try to dive me with my shotgun. Doesn't mean I was providing any value, I was just stat padding. And then the Spider-Man was like, well, check my career history then. I would check his career history. He had a bunch of deaths because they had a Namor on the enemy team, and he refused to switch. And I was like, that's your issue. You weren't getting value because you were dying to Namor over and over again. And he was like, well, how do I deal with Namor then as a Spider-Man? You don't. You change. There you go. There's your issue. You were coping and blaming the healers. The healers had decent healing. You know? I had another guy go, well, like, oh, I'm a tank. I think tank is really hard to carry with. I think tank's the hardest role. Nope. Every role in this game are all equally simple in execution. People just don't understand what each role is meant to do. For example, a lot of tank players seem to think they need to push the point and only the point. No, you're supposed to tank, protect. You are supposed to protect your backline. Same with DPS. Same with healers. Healers are also supposed to protect themselves as well as the backline as well. Everyone has a job to play. It's super simple. Everyone's role is really simple in this game. Because like people say like, oh, I think DPS is the hardest role. Nope. You're supposed to kill supports who have no way of running away from you. That's not really hard, is it? Oh, well, supports are the backbone of the game because we get focused and we get healed. Do you know who also get focused? DPS. You know who also gets focused? Tanks. Everyone has their role to play. Everyone is of equal value in the game. Shut up, right? So I had a tank who refused to turn around, and he was like, it's not my job to protect the supports. Yeah, it is. You're a tank. No, I'm supposed to frontline and deal damage. Nope, you're supposed to frontline and backline and sideline. You're supposed to keep everyone alive. Same with the healer. You are a tank. You're supposed to tank damage. In World of Warcraft, what does the tank do? Pull all the mobs to protect the healers. In League of Legends, what does a Malphite do? Peel for everyone else. For some reason, in hero shooters, they seem to think tank means I must fight other tanks, smiley face. I must push point. Nope, you're supposed to protect people, right? It's like Magneto. You're supposed to bubble the backline once in a while, or bubble the front line. It's just what you do, right? Stop copium. Stop. TikTok people like to do that as well. They like to say like, it's not your fault, it's the healer's fault. Change these simple settings so you can understand. No. Sometimes it is just up to you to take control of the game because you don't understand what you're doing. You need to stop blaming everyone else. I solo queued to Celestial, absolutely fine, playing Moon Knight, who's a character that's easily countered, and I did fine. Why? Because I never blamed my healers, I protected my healers, and sometimes when you lose a game, instead of turning on my mic and telling people they're dog shit and I'm the carry and I'm the main character, when I did nothing except mag dump into a group, I moved on. A lot of players cope. They hold on to grudges as well. In Celestial, I do hold grudges because I know players. That's different. But some people will have a really bad Cloak and Dagger, like, on Monday, and then when they play on Wednesday, every Cloak and Dagger they face is the problem. Were you protecting your Cloak and Dagger? No. There's a player in Celestial, and I am going to call you out, by the way, because you're a cunt and I hate you. There's a player in Celestial known as Amadeus on PC. He is the most unaware player, and it really annoys me. He plays Hela and Punisher. It's very obvious he's a good aimer, and he was carried by the fact that he mained Hela in Season 0 and Punisher in Season 0, two characters that just consistently were okay. Well, Hela was busted, but, you know. He will push up and die and then complain about the healers not healing him when I'm in the backline fighting a Spider-Man, Black Panther, and Venom. He's a very unaware player, and a lot of people are unaware. Yes, you are supposed to deal damage. Yes, you're supposed to push up and do damage, but you're also supposed to protect your supports. I love playing backline. I get flamed for playing backline, can't speak. I get flamed for playing backline because I'm a Moon Knight main, and it's seen as skillless. Nope. I am able to disrupt a lot as a Moon Knight with my Unk and keep my healers alive. There you go. I play healer sometimes, and because I'm a DPS main, I understand what people do wrong, and then as soon as I hear the guy go, oh, healer diff, it's just like, you're a fucking idiot, you don't know what you're on about. Stop copiuming, stop blaming everyone, because like I said, when you flame someone, just know someone said the exact same thing about you. And that's just it. That really, like, when I realized that, it switched my mindset up completely, and I haven't been a toxic, like, I'm 40k damage, meh, I'm better than everyone. Sometimes it is, I will agree. I'll give it a charity on that one. Yeah, sometimes. But 9 times out of 10, it's because someone wasn't doing their very simple job, and it could be you. So yeah, hopefully this video has made some sense. I hope people have enjoyed this video. If not, feel free to leave hate in the comments. I will read them, because I've got nothing better to do. And yeah, if you disagree with any of the points I've made, please let me know. But be constructive about it. I forgot to say this at the start of the video. Be constructive. I don't mind criticism. I don't mind being told I'm wrong. People seem to think I'm a stubborn bastard. No. If you give me aggression and you give me shit arguments, then I will be stubborn simply because you're not proving me right or wrong. You're just being a dickhead. If you're serious, if you're super chill, it's easy to have a debate. So yeah, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Fucking subscribe to the fucking OnlyFans, and I'll see you later. Bye.